Hello and welcome. My name's Kathy A, and today we're gonna do New York Color Cosmetics. Capiche? Yeah. This is a line of cosmetics that was developed in 1999, and it kind of shows the fun colors and vibrance of the city. And I think that there's some really interesting products here and some really good formulations, and I was just pleasantly surprised when I tried the whole line. As an older person, I had to be careful about some of the things I picked and chose, because when you are dealing with wrinkles, crow's feet, and sallow skin and sunken skin and St. Bernard lines, things like that, you got to be a little more conscious about what you're putting on your face, because when you screw up when you're older, it really shows. When you screw up when you're younger, nobody really cares. But when you're older, it really shows, because when you're wearing makeup, people notice it. So I try to use products the best way I can to not look too, clown-like or, bag lady-ish. But New York Color is the name of the brand, often just known as NYC Cosmetics. And I'm going to show you a really quick little documentary about the brand, and I think you're going to find it kind of interesting.
The New York Color story actually begins with this man, Francois Coty. He was a 29-year-old perfumer, and he opened his own company in Paris. Coty was a progressive company, fast becoming the most popular and affordable of the Paris perfumeries. By 1912, Coty wanted a bigger customer base and decided to expand to London and to New York. Coty was famous for his unique bottle designs, which he felt could sell any kind of perfume. Coty pledged to offer products of a rich appearance that were affordable at a variety of price points. After World War I, U.S. soldiers brought home fancy French Coty perfumes from Paris to their wives and girlfriends, propelling Coty's popularity in America. Coty became a millionaire and, ironically, is distantly related to Napoleon and used many of his profits to fund fascist groups throughout Europe. By 1925, over 36 million women worldwide were using Coty perfumes. The provocative ads showed exotic women in beautiful bottles and packaging. Women in the U.S. were fascinated by the French. Mr. Coty had created an empire full of custom bottle makers, label designers, flower growers, and a fleet of delivery vehicles. Coty was practically a city in itself. Mr. Coty contracted pneumonia, and just prior to his death in 1934, he lamented that one scent eluded him. He could never capture the scent of honeysuckle. He is honored yearly with an award named for him and given to the best perfumer of the year. The most popular scent of the time? Emerald. This was their signature scent and very popular in America. In the 1930s, hygiene was a really big issue, and women flocked for the new spun face and beauty powders and makeup that was introduced, lipsticks and blushes, and thanks to great advertising, were attracted to all of the Coty products. In the early 1950s, it was very popular to have a machine analyze your skin tone and texture, and Coty jumped right on the bandwagon with free skin analyzing. This helped propel sales of their foundations and air-spun powders, as well as some of their new blushes and face creams, and they were a very popular item at Christmas time. Coty was at the peak of their sales, and their stock was climbing, so they were acquired by Pfizer, which was notorious for animal testing, but they were already producing the air-spun powder, as well as Pond's cold cream and Viagra. In the 1960s began the sexual revolution, and the ads for Coty items had a sexual tone to them. The perfumes had to be seductive and the idea of being more feminine and making a man want you was kind of a goal. In the swinging 60s, it got a little bit freer, and they used celebrity guest shots in their ads. In 1969, they introduced powder tan and then a foaming bronzer. Secretions from the lowly deer became musk cologne, and Coty's Jovan line actually became probably the most popular scent of the 1970s. I think it drove the sexual revolution right up over the top. Everywhere you looked, there were sexual ads depicting men and women using different variants of musk oil. This was the first time they really were pushing scent for men that also was a scent for women. The 80s and early 90s were big for cosmetics for Coty, and they actually started to acquire other cosmetic companies such as OPI, Sally Hansen, Rimmel of London and Kate Moss, Philosophy, and Aster Cosmetics. But in 1999, Coty launched New York Color. Headed by CEO Michelle Scanavini, they have a fresh new line meant to attract the young and young at heart on a budget, offering price points of 99 cents to $6.99. The makeup line took off as people began to discover the quality and variety of the products. Many of their products compare favorably with their higher-end counterparts, such as Hoola and Sunny from NYC. Their Facebook page and website are extremely popular, and this brand continues to impress me with their innovation and their inexpense.
Okay, test at 11. Yes, I know. It's so much fun finding out these things. I love those posters. I think I'd like to have some of those posters from the 1940s and stuff. Really cool. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to take you on a tutorial back in time, and I'll show you what I started off with, my plain old, just out of the shower moisturized face. And we'll take you from the start to the finish and show you how I got here using all NYC products. Okay, and then, you can see how I use all the cosmetics, and maybe you can decide if you want to try them yourself, or maybe I can save you some money by not trying them. I don't know, in some cases. There's very few of these products I didn't like, so I'll have to give you that up front.
Alright, this is going to start really quick. First, Smooth Skin Perfecting Primer, which is NYC's face primer. Just put a little blob in there, and I'm patting it into my skin, not really working it into it. I want to make a layer. I don't want it to work into my skin. So I'm just kind of patting that all around. Next, from the eye palette, they have a built-in eye primer there, so I'm using that. And it's really nice and opaque and pigmented. It's a light, fleshy tone, so it looks really good, actually, very much like Painterly. They don't sell it on its own. Letting that all set in. Now I'm shaking up the foundation, but it didn't do very much good because it doesn't come out. It's completely solid. So I'm going to use a Q-tip and pull out a blob and stick it on the back of my hand and work from it that way. I'm just going to dot it all around my face. That way I know I won't forget any of the places. And then I'm going to use a buffing brush, just a soft brush, to kind of blend it in. And I'm emphasizing that I'm going up and down, not down to up. That helps keep the makeup looking smoother on my skin. I'm just going around all the areas to make sure it's buffed in properly. Going down my neck with this, just in case it oxidizes, so I don't have two colors. And I'm checking in my makeup mirror. Scared myself there. And I'm just pressing in where it sunk into my wrinkles and St. Bernard lines and stuff, and crow's feet. Almost every foundation you have to do this with, and I kind of was surprised. I hardly had to do any. Okay, back to normal again. We'll continue on. Alright, this is a corrector stick in light, and I was very, very impressed with how creamy this was for a stick concealer. So I'm doing the Kim Kardashian triangle thing. I'm just kind of emphasizing the triangle thing, and I'm going around the edges of my nose, just above my lips and just below my lips. Very creamy. So I'm going to use a little flat foundation brush just to blend that in, and I'm basically making it light on the inside of my face. Blending that in around my nose, around my lips. And it looks pretty good. Checking out the old age spot there. Going into the bronzer, this is Sunny. It is their Smooth Skin Bronzing Face Powder in number 720A. And Sunny has often been compared with Hoola. Except the price point is $2.99, and Hoola is, what, about $28, $29? I'm now taking out some of my double and triple chins. Just made the fat face. Okay. Going into powders. Woof, that one's a little too messy, so I'll hit that later. But let me try the translucent powder first. This is the Smooth Skin Translucent Powder, and I'm just finding it way too light. It's clinging to my dry skin, so I'm going into the darker powder. This is the loose powder, and that's in a naturally beige. It's a little too dark for me, but the other one is a little too light. Powder everywhere. Okay, here we go. And this is the Cheek Glow in Riverside Rose. It's a beautiful glowy blush. Now I know it looks like I have stripes on the side of my face, but it's actually my face is kind of lumpy, and it's kind of a different level. So it's not really a stripe, just a level. From the side, you can't see that. This is the Trio Cheek Glow. It comes in different colors. So this variant is called Psychedelic Trio, number 659. I was trying to do a swatch for you for all three, but that didn't work out very well. So I'm just using the light shade as kind of a highlighter on the top of my cheek, and I'm going to use a little of the bottom shade as an eyeshadow. I do this a lot. I call it my 10 and 2 o'clock points. You can see it right now, but I'm blending it in so it blends in nicely. Just looks a little sun-kissed on my eyes. Going into the eye makeup, here we go. This is the Individual Eyes palette in Central Park. It says it's for green eyes, but it is not, and that is so wrong for them to do that. Them and Physicians Formula and their green eyes, brown eyes stuff. Just taking a little of the illuminator, which is kind of a cream that's right next to the eye primer, and just putting a little teeny stripe under my brows. Now I'm going into the 4 main eyeshadows. I'm going to start with the lightest shade, putting it on my lid, and you could actually, because it's matte, you could take it all the way up to your brow. But because that eye primer was so good, I didn't really need to do very much. They are a little bit on the powdery side, but they're very, very pigmented, and I was very pleased with the color payout. Going into that medium brown color, I'm going to do just above my crease. I have hooded eyes, so, boy, that looks like a Groucho mustache, doesn't it, over there? Anyway, I'm smoothing it out. Very, very pigmented, so I only needed a little bit. And now I'm using a blending brush, and that's a large fluffy brush with no color on it at all. I'm just kind of smoothing out the edges and blending out that color so it's not quite so concentrated or pointed or harsh. Going into the really dark color with a small brush, a smudge brush, just in the corners, and it's about the size of a Smartie or an M&M if you're in the US. Just doing it in the last third of my eyelid. And just going up into the crease a teeny bit, just over the crease a teeny bit, and now here I am blending again. This fast motion stuff is pretty convenient. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Now I'm taking out the HD Color Trio Shadow in West Vintage, and it's kind of a disco green. I just did a little disco move there, sort of. Boy, that had a lot of power there. That very light lime green. I'm just putting it on the inside of the bottom lid. Going into the purple here just to go in the middle to blend outwardly into the dark part just for a little bit of color pop there. And And this is Sparkle Eye Dust in Multi Reflex. It's the lightest shade. I don't know if they have more shades in this. They only had the one shade. So I'm just trying it right exactly under the brow. I know it's kind of a moot point. I already did something there, but I just wanted to try it. And I'm putting a little dot in the center of my lash line on my lid. Now I have two eyeliner pencils and I can't decide which, but I think I'm going to use this one. This is the Showtime Velvet Eyeliner in Black Wine. It is a dark cherry color and it looks very nice and natural on your eyes. I like it better than brown because you don't get that orangey or browny look to it. You get more of a natural skin tone to it. And these eyeliners are wonderful. I was really surprised. I'm going to use the blue after all. This is a waterproof eyeliner pencil in Moody Blue. I'm just using a little bit just over the top of the black cherry, just because I want to. You know me, I'm always layering the colors. Now, I have to do my brows, and I don't have a brow pencil from them because they only had really dark ones, so I'm using the medium brown color right out of the eyeshadow palette with a little eyebrow brush, and I'm taking the bronzer for the other side just so you can see how you can repurpose or multi-purpose any of the products. It gives a little more of a golden tone, so I don't think I would use the bronzer again. Now here I am, curling the lashes. I am counting to 8 on that, even though it's speeded up, you can't tell. Here's the City Proof Buildable Mascara. It's like a waterproof formula, and no matter how many coats you put on, it does not clump, and they really mean it, and I was really impressed. This mascara, I think, was $3.99, and it made beautiful lashes, perfect everyday lashes. I saw no clumps and no little fibers. It was easy to put on. It wasn't messy. I was just really pleased with it. The only thing is I had to put like 3 coats on in order to get big old honking lashes like I like to wear normally. So it's not quite the same as using like Maybelline's The Rocket or Tarte's Lights Camera Flashes. Seems like an eternity I'm doing this mascara. I'm so sorry. Okay. And now I'm doing a spoolie just to show that that's a good way to get clumps out, but there really aren't any clumps. Alright, my camera turned itself off, so I have to redo my lips. This is an automatic lip liner in Naughty Nude. I would have probably preferred a slightly lighter color than this, but I couldn't find it. Now I have 2 of the color sticks, and I really like them. The lighter one actually it seems to look a little dark, but this is City Proof Twistable Color in number 11, and then I'm just going on the very edges with the darker shade, which is number 20, sort of an ombre effect. But not really. These are lip plumping lip glosses, and I've used this one so much the color tag came off. It's kind of a light peach orangey color, and it looks nice over the top of just about any lipstick. So here I am. Not bad. Oh, I gotta show you my nails. Here it is. This is the in a New York Color Minute Quick Dry Polish in number 224, Times Square. And I'm done. In a New York Minute.
So bada bing. Here it is. Boom, done. My New York Color Cosmetics face. And I mean, it's fresh, it's easy to do. The cosmetics are like just so darn cheap. And I mean, this foundation, even though I expected it to oxidize during the day or fade out or whatever, it lasted me about 4 hours before I started to notice anything like around my nose. But I'm like wicked impressed. The primer seemed to work really well. Of course, I'm using a lot of moisturizers underneath and everything, but usually I get patches around my nose here, and right between my eyebrows is like a lacy patch of dry skin kind of thing going on. And I put the primer on there, this foundation went on, you cannot see the lacy stuff or the dry patches or anything. So I'm just like wicked impressed. And this is what, like $5 for this? Most of the price points are between 99 cents and $3.99. I think the mascara, this mascara I think was like $4, $3.99. And that's just incredible. This is, and it's waterproof, and yes, it does last, but I think I was just amazed at how pretty the lashes are with this. And I did have to build up like 3 coats to get what I would like, you know, big old honking lashes. It's harder to get that, but for an everyday work lash, for out in the rain, for humidity, anything like that, this waterproof mascara was pretty good. I think the one thing I didn't demonstrate, because I didn't really like it, was the felt tip ultrafine marker. And I don't know if you can see this, but it just barely gives you any color at all. It's completely useless. It's an ultrafine marker, but it's ultra faded. To me, it's ultra faded. This is the black one. Maybe the extra black one is better, but I didn't even bother to do this. I was going to kind of wing out a little bit, but you really can't wing out at all with this. It just doesn't do anything. It's really difficult to work with, so. And there I go winging. Okay, alright, proved myself wrong. And these eyeshadows were very pigmented, and lots of people talk about them, but you can't really make one eye from one of these combinations. You can use different colors from different ones, I think, and create nice eyes. It's nice to collect the colors, but there was nothing spectacular about them. But I mean, you can see this light green really does add pizzazz. And of course purple. This year purple seems to be the color of fashion, so you know, the purples and orchids and violets and roses are really big this year apparently in the cosmetic world, but I never let stuff like that influence me. Of course I'm wearing purple, aren't I? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's special. It was a lot of fun bringing it to you. So everybody, have a wonderful weekend, have a wonderful week, and have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles! Yo!